The Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein, and the survivors were not mentioned at all in the president's speech tonight, but they were still a subject in the room. Many Democrats tonight wore pins that said, "Stand with survivors, release the files." And some Democrats even brought some survivors as their guests. There are some new revelations tonight that dozens of FBI witness interviews from the Epstein investigation appear to be missing from the trove of files released by the Department of Justice last month. Among those missing files are interviews that 3 women gave related to a woman who accused President Trump of assaulting her decades ago. These allegations, and I think what seems to be, according to some of the lawmakers who are responsible for this bill, by and large, millions of pages of Epstein files missing, it really does raise some questions about whether we can really take at face value that all these files are out there.
The sooner the administration gets past this, the better off they'll be. It's a massive task. I don't envy the Department of Justice, although they did have some time to prepare for it. I do wish that perhaps Democrats had been interested in this when Merrick Garland was the Attorney General, and we might be done with it by now. We'd have justice for the victims by now, but Democrats were not interested in pushing their own Attorney General to get these files out back when they had the White House and the Department of Justice. But I do think the administration needs to go as quickly as they can.
It's sad that you have a conversation about sex abuse and the largest sex trafficking ring and most powerful one that this country's ever seen. And instead of addressing it head on, that you see, and this is what drives the survivors crazy, you see the political gamesmanship, because immediately it's Democrats, it's Merrick Garland, it's this, that, and the third. I mean, listen, the person who brought this to light was Donald Trump in 2015. He was the first person to mention Epstein and his sex trafficking ring. And the fascinating part is Republicans were talking about Democrats having sex trafficking rings in pizza shops, and there with no evidence. But here we have voluminous evidence and files that have gone missing, and yet and still Republicans are like, just don't believe your lying eyes. The fact is, you're seeing the rest of the world get it right. From Prince Andrew, I don't even know if you can call him that anymore, but Andrew from the block,
the former
right?
Prince
Just Andrew from around the corner. You see Andrew. I mean, you see individuals outside of government. You see people resigning every single day for their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. But when the president is mentioned, it's crickets. When anybody else is mentioned, it's crickets.
Covering up these files that mention Trump. And by the way, I mean, not to say that the allegations are corroborated or anything like that, but their existence we know that they exist, and we know that they have not been released. Are they covering that part of it up?
They might well be, but there's so many of them, they're so voluminous, and he's in it so much that they can't quite get it all covered up if that's what they're trying to do. Trump has been proven to be a liar by these files. He said he was never on Epstein's plane. There is evidence that he was. And there are at least now 2 women who allege that he sexually assaulted them. And so that's a problem. And I say, Democrat, Republican, Prince, Sheikh, president of Harvard, bring them all down. And I think that is what this has been a terrifying view into the elite in this country and around the world, that they actually think they can get away with this. And the impunity is what's infuriating.
I say it over and over. There's one person in jail right now related to these fouls, and there are hundreds of victims. Something is not happening that should be happening. And yeah, we waited too late to pay attention to it, sure. But it's never too late to make it right. I actually thought that Trump might acknowledge the survivors in the room tonight, because he has a way of still positioning himself to say, I'm innocent in this. And his base wants him to do something with these fouls and acknowledging them. Like, if you can spend, I'm glad we won the gold in hockey, but if you can spend like 10 minutes clapping for the hockey team, you can spend 10 minutes clapping for survivors who've made it to the other side.
Have we ever heard him say anything positive or supportive of the survivors? I mean, and if not, why not?
I don't listen to every single thing he says, but he campaigned on opening these files up when the Biden administration wasn't. And, they're coming out. You've got Republican leadership in the House in particular that's pushing to get more of them out. And, it's only a matter of time. I agree with Brad. Sooner's better. But it's also, we're actually seeing movement we've never seen before. So I have a lot of I have faith in this process, and I think we're getting more transparency than we've ever seen before.
All right, everybody, thank you all very much for being here on this very late night. Thank you for watching Newsnight. The news continues next.